Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Ready to talk about the movie we saw last night?
Am I? I'm not really. So, let's just go.
Sure. Well, as we like to do, because it's the closest thing to a premiere that we're ever going to get to at any time soon, I'm pretty sure. You never know. Your tiny tuxedo may come in handy at some point on a red carpet. But for now, we see our advanced showings at the Monday Mystery Movie. So we're trying to go to all of those.
Yeah.
Last night we went, and it was the film Fantasy Life. And that is written, directed, and starring someone named Matthew Shear, who seems to be, upon a little research, a Noah Baumbach regular. Oh. And that seems very fitting.
Yeah.
And can I just say what my little sentence about what I think,
Sure.
how it would sum up the movie, is maybe this movie is about the low level emotional chaos and catharsis that a mild-mannered, wayward law student unwittingly triggers in a married couple when he becomes their babysitter.
And then becomes nanny or manny or whatever they were calling him.
Yeah, I mean, I think babysitter is still good,
Sure.
no matter how frequently you're doing it, I just considered him their babysitter the whole time.
So you and your son had checked the rating and the time, and we're guessing that this was going to be a horror film. So when I sat down, I was fully expecting this to be a horror film for the mystery movie. And when it started, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be like a slice of life horror.
No, we never said it was going to be horror.
Oh, I thought you did.
I said I was hoping that it could still be something that we've been maybe looking out for, such as, am I right in thinking they're going to kill us?
Right, that one, yeah.
And I think there was something else I was thinking that's on the horizon where I was like, oh, maybe it could be that. But no, I wasn't telling you it was probably going to be horror.
Oh, I misunderstood.
They tend to label the mystery movie
Well, what
as
that
horror.
did was make me think we were sitting down to a horror film.
Okay.
And when it started, it's like very muted colors and very soft sounds. And I was like, oh, this is going to be terrifying. And then it turned out, no, it's just a slice of life film.
Yeah. I feel like it sits at the same cafeteria table as Nicole Holofcener movies, Noah Baumbach, the show Girls.
Yes.
Woody Allen with all of the people going to see their analysts back in the 70s.
Right.
And I think that I've written down things like a movie like this opens up a pretty limited can of worms. And I think the movie did well in it. Like, I think I wrote, like, it's a pleasant movie. And I think someone says during it, like, you're kind of nice to be around to the main character. And it's like, yeah.
Sure.
It was, I enjoyed myself. There were definitely like some chuckles, and we sat in a different part of the theater than my son, and he has a very big voice, and we heard some laughs from him a few rows back. Yeah. What did you think, Squirrel?
I appreciated Amanda Peet's character as what was she supposed to be? 50? Did she mention her age?
She may have said 51 at one point.
51 or 52? Something like that,
Okay.
yeah. But I appreciate it. I didn't think there was enough of her struggling to find parts. I enjoyed that. Like that kind of slice of, I'm going to put myself on camera, an audition for something, and it's like, she was doing a great job and then just goes, nah, stop this, let's cut.
Right.
I don't want to, and just stops the phone from recording her little audition for some sort of sci-fi. It's like, no, what? You're actually doing some good stuff.
Right, and I think she stops the phone because he misses his line, but he misses his line because he's getting kind of wrapped up in what she's doing. Yeah.
Right.
So,
So no take twos or something for the audition for some reason. But yeah, I really like that side of that character.
Yeah.
And then getting mistaken for, who was it?
Lake Bell? Yeah.
Like, oof, that was like a real thing that probably celebrities get all the time.
Sure. And I think I did see a clip of something go past in my social media where she was saying, yeah, I get mistaken for Lake Bell sometimes or something. So that might even be like a real life thing. I do wonder if there are some sort of meta things here and there we can get into. But yeah, so yeah, the movie opens with our character what was his name? Sorry. All of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah, see, and that's the problem for
not
me.
even remembering his name.
Daniel? No.
We're not gonna. I feel bad. I've written down
Wow.
other people's names, but well, maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point, because I feel like he sort of Mr. Magoo's his way into this family, and I think this movie does a lot. It kind of gets into babysitting a little bit, in a way, the way that you are sort of an outsider, but also having this really intimate access to a family, but you're always kind of on the outside and you're a staff member too. And so maybe like, yeah, I felt like this movie, maybe he's just so mild-mannered. I don't know if his goal was that we wouldn't remember his name, but it is escaping me.
Job done.
But yeah, he's got a job in like the basement of a law office or something, and he's been asked to alphabetize some stuff. And our first view of him is he's kind of singing the alphabet song to himself a little bit, like he's LMNOP. And I'm like, okay, we can get from this that this guy's maybe not the best, and he's maybe not. This is not going well, and sure enough,
Right.
he's getting fired off camera. Like a lot of. I've written too, like there's an off-camera quality to a lot of the events that I think does add to the comedy. I think it's intentional. Like she's like, well, you know, I've got to tell you, you've been doing well, but or something. She starts saying something kind of kind to him, and then it cuts to, you know, he has lost his job. He has a panic attack in a bookstore and faints.
Thinks he's having a heart attack.
He kind of is interacting with another customer. She takes some sort of pity or interest in him, but that doesn't go anywhere. Storyline I thought was this like a meet cute kind of thing, but
Right.
not. And then we're into the world of therapists, and immediately I'm like, wow, this cast.
Yes.
At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm settled in. With my drink and my popcorn, and yes, I want to see what Andrea Martin is gonna do. Person we enjoyed in Difficult People a lot, she had a pretty big part in that show, and she's like the receptionist
Slash
wife of the psychiatrist Judd Hirsch.
Good to see him being like not a cab driver in an action film or something. I think he's been a cab driver in like Independence Day, Sharknado. It's like, oh, Judd, just do something good, and I think he was good in this.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed with the cast, because throughout it we get like Zosia Mamet, we get Sheng Wang, Bob Balaban, Holland Taylor. There's just a lot of great folks that come through this, and you know, of course, Amanda Peet. And
Right. Is Bob Balaban really that person now, or is he such a great actor? I really believed him as crotchety old man.
I want him off island.
Off island, kind of rich. A lot of rich white people in this film, and yeah, Off Island was great. What a great delivery.
Yeah, it really did feel like a story of, well, a lot of times we say like, movie after movie after movie often feels like rich people problems. Mm-hmm. But this was rich people problems a little bit through the lens of someone who's a little closer to being one of the regular folks, you know. He still can mostly afford his therapy or whatever, right. And living. We don't even really know too much about. Does he live with his parents?
Or does he live with that friend of his?
Oh, right. He lives with his friend. Okay, yeah. That's right. So, but you know, has a little more humble situation, and that's when he walks up to this apartment, and it's like suddenly into this babysitting gig because his psychiatrist wife / receptionist recommended him for it, and she kind of knew him,
right?
From
he seems nice, so
yeah.
she's like, hey. Are you good with kids? It's like, what kind of question? What?
You're kind of functioning, so sure.
Yeah, you're kind of functioning. That was a great
something
line.
like that. So yeah, so he ends up, and immediately we're into this, and I have been a babysitter. I'm assuming Squirrel.
I've done a few gigs.
Okay. That wasn't what I was assuming.
A few kits I've had to look after through my years. Yep.
Well, were they for anyone else's family, or were they family kids?
Family kids.
Oh, okay. Well, when you go into
squirrels have a big family. Sorry.
If you were to go into an entirely different tree in the forest,
right.
and possibly a wealthier tree, I definitely did a good bit of babysitting when I was around 13, 14, until I could get my library job. By the way, I appreciate all the library shout outs in this movie too. But you go in and you're suddenly, you're like you're sort of like in a different country now,
Yeah.
When in Rome, this is how this family operates. And the kind of casual, sort of phone-centered delivery. It's like all the kids are kind of focused on their screens, and he's kind of halfway on his phone. He was reminding me a lot of, there's a creator named Nicole Daniels on Instagram, and she does a lot of different characters that are hilarious, but one of the characters is this kind of like dad when you come to babysit, and she does an amazing job of this. It's like hauntingly accurate. And I think Alessandro Nivola is at the beginning feels like a wealthy kind of douchey dad. He's off to like a gig playing bass. He's kind of rattling off the routine.
And
for the kids.
Not to sound like he's typecast, but he was a cool, wealthy, douchey dinosaur hunter in Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, okay.
That's where I know him from.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, he's the same sort of character, only a rock star in this.
And we find out that, the kid's mom is maybe hanging out at Martha's Vineyard right now for a few weeks, and the dad really needed a babysitter. And they're paying him something like $300, for one night or something?
Yeah, and I think that sort of sets the tone of like the way the dad was so kind of dismissive of like, is 300 enough? Okay, is that all right? Okay. And it's like, whoa, 300? Yikes. Not in my day.
Not in my day either.
Free pizza in my day. That was it.
I was getting a few bucks an hour. But yeah, so and also the kids they're kind of rude to the dad.
Yeah.
And they're kind of rude to the babysitter guy. And yet they're, intelligent and charming enough kids. But so it goes well enough, and it's suddenly an ongoing gig. And the way the movie's set up, they kind of do different seasons.
Oh, yeah.
So there's kind of like these time jumps. So the next thing you know, he's used to like walking around the kids, like, I don't know, bringing them home from school or whatever. And gradually he starts building a little more of a rapport with the mom, who he's recognized in the photos on the side of the fridge, and she's an actor. Right,
and it kind of threw me that I was a little confused when it said fall, and then it's Amanda Peet's character. But we've seen her, like you said, we've seen him staring at her picture, then it's like fall. Now we're focused on her. I was like, is this going to be like an anthology film?
Right.
Of like every season's going to be a different character? I thought we were going to get, spring, and it would be the dad on his like rocking tour or something.
Right. And she's like having a meeting, and she's trying to, see about, it's like she had a past as an actor, and she's trying to get back into it and hoping to find some cool roles. This felt like maybe this is a little meta, Is that what Amanda Peet's doing right now? And if so, I truly enjoyed her in this. I felt like I was kind of almost like seeing her for the first time. I really liked her in this role. And I really, her whole like, hey, I'm trying to reclaim my career while also dealing with like everything that goes into having multiple kids and stuff. I thought that was really relatable, and I really do think my favorite, like one of my favorite parts of the movie was when she gets him to help the babysitter guy to help her do a self-tape.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a well done moment. Sometimes movies like this, you sort of ask yourself, like, how was this movie written? Sometimes I wonder if they are like accumulations of like just different little moments that were like scribbled down in someone's notebook. Like, I would like to see a scene like this in a movie. I'd like to see a scene like this in the movie. Because the movie kind of just potters along. And again, he does end up actually kind of like triggering a bit of a collapse in their ecosystem.
Right.
But he's just really like eating granola and mostly minding his own business. I think it's just what we come to find out is that this couple isn't doing as well as you might think. And at some point someone admits, I think she admits, that they haven't like had sex in 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that is like, that is not nothing, you know, that is not nothing in the world of like a marriage, this kind of like douchey dad wanting to go off and do, now do like a bit of a world tour with some band he's been helping out with. And I was wondering if there was even any like Justin Timberlake, because she's married to Justin Timberlake, right?
That might be Jessica Biel.
Oh.
But no, I get what you're saying. And also when she said,
Oops.
when she says like, I haven't had sex for 5 years, but doesn't she start that sentence with like, I haven't had a role in 10 years. And I'm like, is that true for Amanda Peet? But I don't think it is. I think she was on a show like last year. So
Yeah, but she's had things.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, a lot of these thoughts were, sorry, Amanda Peet. I was
We love you in Seinfeld.
I was meshing you with who?
What?
Who's Justin Timberlake's wife?
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Okay. I some of these thoughts were Jessica Biel tinted.
Oh.
And I was kind of but so I don't really know do you have kids, Amanda Peet? Maybe you do. And maybe, but we know this, no matter whether you have kids or not, whether you're trying to juggle family and career or not, we know that the movie industry has a tendency to, you know, there was that famous sketch, I think it was on the sketch comedy show from the person who's related to somebody in Congress.
Oh boy, I don't know.
The comedian, the blonde comedian lady. Oh, man.
You can tell we don't talk about this stuff until we're filming.
Okay. Well, there was a great sketch, and we'll put all the relevant information here.
Yeah.
But basically,
it
was like
here.
your last. It's like your last effable year or whatever.
Oh.
I think it was.
I have vague memories of what you're saying.
Yeah. And Amy Sherman.
There you go.
And there's also a politician named Sherman, right? Somebody
Sure.
Sherman.
I trust you.
Names, they're difficult. Anyway,
Names.
they the movie industry, media tends to. I mean, middle-aged women tend to feel like, hey, I'm invisible. That's been the plot of what was that movie? Widows. You know,
Yep.
Wasn't it? We can get away with anything because no one can see us.
Right.
You know, and roles. Maybe not the best roles available, and I think it's really cool to have anybody writing for that age group. And so whether this is meta or not, I think I was really enjoying her in this role and relating to her character in the sense of like, hey, do I still have time to follow more dreams like at the age that I am?
Right.
Unfortunately, they don't really go forward with that, and she does kind of scrap it. And then it kind of turns into a lot of time on Martha's Vineyard.
Yep.
Where he's like the babysitter living with them in Martha's Vineyard while the husband guy is on his tour. And I'm kind of wondering, why do they need him that much?
Yeah, because it looks like she comes from an independently wealthy family. Like, doesn't she get into an argument and someone says, like, your dad's money is what's paying for... So, yeah, it's like...
Balaban.
She wants, Balaban. She wants to work. She wants to be, an actor, but is fearful of, like, my time's up. But also doesn't have any money worries. So, yeah, why do they need the nanny? Especially when she's there all the time with the kids at Martha's Vineyard. So, yeah, that is not choice. He is pushed sort of back to the background a lot. And it does seem to frustrate Bob Balaban's character of like, why is he even here? So at least somebody in the film calls him out on that. Like, why do we need him around?
Right. And again...
Off island.
And again, with the off-camera business, like, he faints off camera. He admits that he's in love with the mom off camera, and the kids are like,
so the kids know.
Supporting this. I feel like I was kind of saying to myself, like, the whole setup of this movie, back in the day, a movie with the similar setup would have gone for like big broad laughs, featured way more kid wisecracks and stuff. In this case, the kids are featured in a very limited way, which kind of makes me feel like their presence in the movie as kids in this family, as kids in relation to these parents, kind of seems tertiary. And so ultimately, it's like Justice for, if we do a Justice for in our reviews, to me it's Justice for these kids, because they're getting kind of palmed off on this babysitter.
Sure.
And these are precious years here. And I think, I don't really understand why they needed this guy so much, just so they can have like kind of adult dinners where everyone's, there was that scene where like both sets of like grandparent type were at the table, and this very like intellectual conversation happening, and sort of everyone's kind of holding court. And I was like, right, there aren't any kids at this table. The kids are off in another room, and he's like, hey, can they have more ice cream or something?
And I think to your point about old school Woody Allen films, is the actors in those, and I know it was usually like the same sort of alum that Woody Allen would use, now I'm blanking on the actor's name that had the frizzy, he looked like Art Garfunkel, but he was, anyway, that actor was always in like early Woody Allen films and had a great deadpan, but the characters could always tell a good story, and it would always make other characters laugh. And I felt like in this one, when the friends rescue him from the island, it's all gone horribly awry.
Right.
And they're like, so what's going on? And he tells the story in such a deadpan way that I think one character sort of snorts at it and then sort of corrects herself and goes, sorry. But it's like, no, it is funny. It is ridiculous. And I didn't think they leaned into that enough.
Right. Because I think he did have interesting friends.
Yeah.
We could have...
And if you were to tell a bonkers story, you'd be making them laugh.
And I think, like, we never really understand, like... I mean, I guess you can have anxiety without, like, necessarily having trauma or anything. Yeah. But, like, why is he having these panic attacks?
Right.
Why, is he fainting? What's going on with him? But yeah, when he delivers, like, and he drove off and crashed his car into a historic post office. Right. Like, that was a funny line. I think maybe the movie tried to give us as much detail as they could on too many characters or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And we lost... I sort of like don't even maybe know who the main character of this movie is.
Yeah.
Because at times it felt like Amanda Peet, and at times it felt like Matthew Shear.
And at times you wanted it to be Bob Balaban.
And I think the Alessandro Nivola's character it becomes more interesting. And especially once he's got his like neck brace and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he takes him to play basketball, and once he feels like, wait, I feel like my wife has become closer to this guy while I've been gone. And in fact, they have shared a super awkward kiss that kind of lets you know, probably, yeah, it turns out we are witnessing the one and only kiss. And it did feel very like clumsy and, I'm sure purposely, like this moment where maybe a little bit of like comforting, very low level flirtation that might be like kind of like pleasing to the mom, but to Amanda Peet's character, bubbles up into like, oh crud, this guy's in love with me, and
right, it's gone beyond a crush.
It's gone, yeah, and
he's watched all of her really early her films and TV shows, and she's like, oh my goodness, like, is mortified at some of her earlier stuff, and he's like, no, I thought it was good.
And he went to some archive, maybe anthology film archives, and like watched something. He had to sit there with headphones and watch in the place. And all of that was really sweet. To me, that's really good romantic comedy stuff.
Yeah.
It's just that like she really does like love her husband, and she doesn't really want to change what her life is, and she's not planning on leaving him for this, for the babysitter who is kind of like just fumbling around looking like a teenager, even though he's 34 or something like that. And he's not on the level that these guys are on in terms of just like sophistication. I think, that's maybe where the fantasy life thing comes in. It's like, not only are movies fantasy life, but when you find yourself kind of like artificially grafted into somebody else's family as their babysitter, and you're kind of living their life with them, but it's not real. Like you could be ousted at any moment.
It really put me in mind of the Baldwin's documentary show.
Oh, yes.
Where it's like, you rarely saw the nannies, and then sometimes they'd be front and center, like putting the hundreds of kids in the giant SUVs for Alec Baldwin. But that's what it reminded me of a lot when like the main character, again, like you said, is he the main character? But anyway, when the main character's like in the background of some shots looking very meek and like, like I don't know what I'm even doing here myself. I appreciated some of those, that feeling.
Right.
But yeah, it was too wishy-washy. And who are we rooting for?
Who are we rooting for? Yeah, it did feel kind of aimless. It felt kind of, not quite like mumblecore, but to me it was so much about like this guy just kind of fumbling his way around in this family, accidentally moving their marital crisis into the point where they had to deal with it. And then he kind of is able to move on in his life. Maybe he gains some confidence in the fact that he could be a little charming. He's met someone on Hinge, Maybe he's a little unstuck from his issues at that point. Maybe. And they're able to kind of like meet and have a little coffee and share some rice pudding. And, if this were like Rushmore, you'd think like, no, he's still plotting to win her over. Let's share some rice pudding romantically,
and sadly, this film ain't no Rushmore.
It's just, it was pleasant. It was kind of nice to be around, but, I just, it was enjoyable, and yet maybe enjoyable like that rice pudding.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so maybe so slice of life that it felt super mild or something. Like too so slice of life that, are we just watching people live? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What did you think of Fantasy Life? Did you go see it? What did you think? I think that, yeah, like I said, a movie like this opens up a pretty limited can of worms. And I think there's not a lot to say that, like, was it supposed to do this or that? I don't know. It seems like this person knew what they wanted to make. They wrote it, they started it, they directed it. And
but I'm starting to feel like there's a certain look to a lot of these films, either big budget or independent, but this reminded me, the look, the cinematography, and the feel, the color correction was all reminiscent of After the Hunt. It put me in mind of that, and what was the other...
And the end of the movie, like, little meetup felt After the Hunt, like, to me,
that too.
Yeah, sorry,
So
go
a
ahead.
general feel and look, and it's like, we're seeing a lot of, like, mystery movies that look very similar, and I'm not sure if this is just the trend in Hollywood right now, like, oh, you've got to pick this camera, this digital feel, and your editor and your color correction will be this, and it's like, it's getting a bit samey, and we need some... Like, for all of its faults, Honey Don't had some vibrant colors. And I was like, oh, this looks different.
Yeah.
Even Primate had some scary shadows and that kind of thing. And it looked a bit different.
And this had some, this definitely had some, like, it was like amusing. It was gently amusing throughout the whole bit of like, oh, let's watch E.T. or whatever.
Right.
Like,
which can be good, but I don't think it lends itself to repeat viewing, whereas I could watch Rushmore again and again.
Oh, yeah. No, like you said, this is no Rushmore. I don't think it's trying to be Rushmore. And yes, Rushmore forever. Like, that's such a...
That's the benchmark.
Okay, now that we're discussing Rushmore, though.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
If you've made it this far, I listened to all of the... just because we're friends now, okay? So I'm moving on to Rushmore. And I listened to all the DVD commentary. And nobody talks about... in the DVD commentary, nobody talks about those final moments of the movie, okay? So, spoilers for Rushmore. In at the very end of the movie, we're to think that Max Fisher has moved on. I mean, he's at the dance with Margaret Yang, and he's had a successful play, at the new school and everything, and he seems accepting of Rosemary being there with her date. But then he gets a chance to dance with her, and he motions to the guy at the DJ station, who immediately pulls a specific record and puts it on for his dance with Rosemary. And it's the faces, I wish that I knew what.
Right.
And she gets this look on her face as they start dancing, as the song starts playing. She gets this really, really specific look on her face that makes me think this song is really touching her. The song is important to her in some way. And he knew that because he's obsessed with her. And I just think, like, this movie's not over. This movie's not over. This is still going.
The Max Fisher is always plotting and scheming.
And he's never going to stop wanting her. And I think, like...
I mean, that's what I got out of it.
I wanted them to talk about that in the commentary. And the commentary just kind of, like, over that scene is just like, yep, and then we end with this.
Right.
Blah,
We had
blah,
a great time.
And not kind of like, this is how you know that it's not over. Just like, at the end of Bottle Rocket, it feels like it's not over, So...
Jason Schwartzman, if you're watching this, just leave us a comment. Let us know. Put it to rest. Let us sleep.
Let us please sleep.
Right?
Anyway.
So what do you think about Rushmore? I mean,
we're always... Anyway, we're always interested in your comments. It might sometimes take us a week or so to get back if our life outside of this, all of this grandeur right here, if our life outside of all of this gets a little chaotic, it might take us a few days to get back. But we're reading all your comments and we appreciate them all. And it's really us. It's not AI supplying out, although AI was offering to. And it was very unsettling. AI was offering to do the heart popcorn emoji heart that I personally type in there. And AI is like, you want to just say this plus heart popcorn emoji heart? And I was like, step off, AI.
Yeah.
Step right off. You don't write the comments. We write the comments. We don't write the responses, to your comments, which we're always interested in reading.
And you best be sure the first film that's like, it uses AI. Oh, are we gonna review it?
Will we know?
And then maybe AI will take over and make us all look fake, being like, we loved it. Anyway.
And so would we be like, she said she loved it, but did you notice that she had 3 nostrils,
Squirrel had 2 heads at one point.
That's how you know.
Right?
I was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to figure that part out, right? Pretty soon. And then we won't know. Why can't they not understand that? Why can't they not understand that part? That confuses me. That's what confuses me about AI.
Yeah. Like you said, they'll get better.
Dumb like that. And yet we're letting it take over. We're not letting it. It's just some people are.
Right.
All right, we're just rambling at this point. This is a Southern goodbye. All right. Well, it's been good seeing you.
Yeah, we'll see you for the next one.
Okay. All right, we'll drive safely. All right, cool.
Bye.